Hi everyone, how are you? Does anyone want to take a guess at how old that photo is? And how many kilos ago it was as well? Because it's about 10 to 15 kilos ago. I'm trying, but my mum likes it, so I like using that one instead. Lovely to meet all of you. Thank you very much for coming to join us. My name is Lorcan O'Duffy. I'm the Global Marketing Manager at Maison Ferrand, which is a very mouthy title for someone who just runs around a lot, getting to taste lots of delicious products. I feel very, very lucky to have fallen into this industry. I went off to university. No one in my family had ever gone, so I didn't really know what to expect. Someone I took quite a fancy to there told me to apply for a job with Red Bull, and 14 or so years later, here I am. So thank you for joining me. Now, I want to talk to you about premiumization in rum. But for us, when it comes to anything, we like to focus on three things. Firstly, it is education. That is Angelique, my director, who's there looking very studious, studying something. The photo wasn't posed in any way. She generally was looking. We combine that with tasting, with sharing, because from tasting, you understand what the product is like, where you want it to go. You give that product to a bartender, they know in their head from the flavor profile where they can take it. You don't give a bartender a set of cocktail serves or a set of this is how you've got to serve it. You give them the liquid, they can create it for you. They do that job for you. You make a good enough product, they'll know what to do with it. Pilgrimage, traveling to the place. That's what it's about. This is at Long Pond in Jamaica. I'm very lucky to have been able to go to it a couple of times. If you haven't gone, I encourage you to go. It's filthy, but it's quality at the same time. That's where the essence comes from. That's where the creativity comes from. All the people there working day in, day out on those stills, creating a liquid that we're then able to use to turn into a blend for something else. That's what we love doing. It's those pillars that we build everything we do at Maison Ferrand on. We look at it, and if it doesn't fit one of these pillars or one of those pillars isn't being supported by it, we don't do it because it doesn't mean anything to us. And we hold ourselves to those mantras, and it's what we do with my team. My directors do it with me. It's what we always want to look at for doing it. And there are lots of you in the room that I've never met before. I've got no idea what you're doing. You may be wanting to build a brand. You may be wanting to expand a brand. But I would say to you, look at what it is that you want to do with it. Have those metrics that you look at. Have those pillars that you look at. Look at the outside influences. Look at what's coming in. But find something like that to really do it. Someone taught me that a very long time ago, and it's really, really served me well in everything I've done since then. But it's those things that make you question sometimes why you do stuff. Because the thing is, no one ever asked for a gin made with pickles. No one ever asked for another coconut rum. And no one ever asked for another rum made with pineapples. But you've got some of our best performing products in the world up there. Is there a trend that came out 10 years ago saying, ladies and gentlemen, you want to put pickles in your gin if you want to achieve high growth rate? No. But someone had the idea, I like pickles. I like gin. And what does that do? That gives us a chance to talk to bartenders, talk to buyers, talk to people about our products, remind them of other products that are coming in as well, and just talk about what it is that we love to do, which is to create, to share, and to do all of that. Oh yeah, but we made it. That was about what I was meant to come on to after that. But rum is premium. When you're looking at ISWR data and you're talking about premium, super premium, ultra premium, you're very much talking about a price point, which for me personally doesn't work. Doesn't work for me within a marketing role because premium at $22.50 up to $29.99 for one person, that could be super premium for them, depending on where they are at that stage. So when you're talking about these numbers, look at the price point that's there, but premium, if more than anything, is a feeling. It is a vibe, as sick inside as that makes me. But that is what you want to be looking at. So when you're talking about rum premiumizing, on paper, yes, it is. When we then jump back to these products, those two rums on the right sit around $41. That's pretty bloody premium overall. So when we talk about rum premiumizing, it is. But it's premiumizing because the consumer is getting more educated about what goes into it. The thing I find really interesting about the three products as such, which are up here, because we're going to hear from a lovely Brandy just afterwards as well, is they're all products that actually take a while to grow and produce. They're things where they really take an essence from the soil that comes in there as well. To me, I find that super interesting that lots of the products that we're seeing, which are really rising up, are coming from that side. And it's very, very exciting. Hopefully cognac gets a bit more of a rise sometime soon as well. I mean, we do make a nice cognac at the same time. But if I was to ask you about the premium and up segment, and you had to guess what the volume and value was in terms of a percentage, so of the entire rum thing, when we look at premium and up, so ultra premium, super premium, all of those, can anyone guess what the percentage volume is? 3%. 3% is bloody tiny. That is literally 97% off. But there's a lot of headroom for growth. We can see that. We're seeing that an awful lot. We're seeing that in retailers. We're seeing that in the on-trade. The on-trade has moved from being dominated by white spirits as such, and we're seeing a lot more dark spirits coming in. People want more variety on their shelf. They want more variety on their back bar as well. Now, does anyone want to guess what percentage of value that 3% equates to? Oh, I wish. 80. 13%. So it makes up a large, large portion that is there. That, for me, is a really positive sign as a producer. That, to me, would be a very positive sign as a retailer as well. That's the kind of thing that I look at, and I can see a lot of excitement moving forward. But to help support those numbers, it comes back to this bit here. It is about educating people on it. It's about getting them to taste it, and it's giving them that opportunity to visit it. And not everyone is going to be able to visit it, but what you can do is you can take an element of that with you. You can bring a little slice of the Caribbean with you. Wherever we go, whenever we do a tasting, we try to bring that element of Barbados, of Jamaica. When we do it with our cognac, we try to bring an element of Chateau de Bonbonnet with us as well. That's what we really, really want to do. For me, it's the emotional side of these things that really convince someone to pay that extra 5, 10, 15 euro on a product. Euro, dollars, sterling. Insert whichever one you want to use. Because when it comes to who is driving this, it's not necessarily us, but it's consumers. They're the people that take it off the shelf. They're the people that look at it, that see it. Maybe they see a shelf talker. Maybe they see an award that's on there from the thousands of awards that are available. Maybe they've seen something online. They've had a targeted ad that has gone there. But it's the consumer that takes it off the shelf. That's who you've got to be appealing to every single time. But there is a slight issue with the consumer. You've got to get through the gatekeeper first. You've got to get through the buyer. Maybe there are some buyers in the room. If there are, I love you very much. Please continue to pick up our products. There will be the head bartender. There will be the F&B manager that will see the product, will know the provenance that goes in it, will know the care and admiration that the entire team does. But when they're looking at it on their budget sheet, and there's one where they're going to be making an extra 10 cents on each serve that's there, have you done enough to convince them that that's the product that they should be having in there? They're very, very important to remember. Because if you've not won them over, your chance to speak to the consumer is very limited. You can have your own retail element, but that's still going to be very, very small. So it doesn't matter what trends are there. It doesn't matter what your gut feel is in that sense. If you've not won those people over, you're not getting through that door. But you can also ignore the trends. Because if you're you, as horrendously cringe as that does sound, you can create your own trends. No one asked us for a pineapple rum. No one asked us for another coconut rum. No one asked us for a gin with pickles. But they're some of our top performing products, and they're some of the products that we're most recognized for now. And they're the things that when we go into a room with someone and we want to have a conversation, those are the products that we can put down on the table, and it opens up the floor to everything else. It's very, very important to not just follow what everyone else is doing, but create what you want to create. Because that's what separates you from the other people who are there. But you don't have to force it. You can wait, you can see, and those gaps within the market will appear. Those gaps are the ones that then you can, and I say exploit in the nicest possible way. Those are the ones you can exploit. That's where you can push through. That's where you've got something which really resonates with a bartender, with a group, with a buyer. Then you open yourself up to so much more that is all there. And that's pretty much that. Thanks, guys.